Hello judges, you are looking lovely today. Now, let's get down to business. My name is Charlotte and this is my group, and we're here to tell you why biomass is the best. In the best energy. Here for the reasons why. Biomass is almost anything you can do. You can use garbage.
So kiddos, I can't have anyone talk while Charlotte's talking. And Charlotte, just hold the computer. Just hold it. Lots of people present while holding a computer.
One biomass quality is that we can use almost anything. You know about the small...
Charlotte, you keep skipping stuff. You guys can go first.
Okay. No, Sadie, no.
We're ready.
No. Charlotte, you're on.
Alright.
Judges, make your decision. What's going on? Sadie shouldn't have
We are
interrupted that.
debating
She doesn't want points taken up.
because biomass is the best. So, I suppose you're asking what is biomass. Well, biomass is the stuff that we will save the earth is burning trees, plants, garbage, and animal waste. We collect, we burn, and we, now judges, would like to share with you the best and most 4 important facts on biomass. One of biomass's qualities is that we can use almost anything. You know about the smog in China? This is from air pollution. Biomass doesn't do that. We can clear garbage to make cleaner air to breathe instead. Biomass isn't biodegradable. We can use garbage for fuel to your home, school, and community. People all over the world use biomass, even in China, but that's not enough. We can revolutionize whatever hydropower calls good energy and make it better than you ever imagined. Our opposing side, I would like you to know that if we don't win, you are turning down one of the best energy sources for the earth and air. Just so you know, biomass is the least used, so not a lot of people use it. If you guys support us, we can flip the energy pie around, and so all the leading air pollution, coal plants, and 2% can save the air. So as well, I'm sorry. On a lesser note, biomass is carbon neutral. Carbon neutral is a term used to describe fuels that neither contribute to nor reduce the amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. In other words, you do not release carbon dioxide into the air, which makes it no harder but at the same time no easier to breathe. This isn't our best pro, but is better beyond compared to other fossil fuels. This is good at the same time because we have discovered that this is better than worse, because if we don't release carbon dioxide, it's a cleaner air to breathe. So then if we did emit carbon dioxide, it would make it harder to breathe because of the trees being cut down later. Now, if we released oxygen, it would be easier to breathe. If we released carbon dioxide, it would be harder. But because we are carbon neutral, we emit neither. On another subject, biomass is totally renewable, unlike coal and other fossil fuels. We'll never run out, and we always have garbage and animal waste in our own, I might add. Farmers in China, like I mentioned before, are sealing their animal waste into their own airtight sealed tanks and wait for biomass, which powers, biogas, which powers. The other good side to renewability is that we can always have it within a block or less. We will always be surrounded by biomass, nature, the bathroom, and our garbage. If all the people in the U.S. would use biomass, we'd have an amazingly clean earth. Not a nation that relies on a fossil fuel that I may mention will run out. And as well as we're on the subject, we are a very reliable resource because we produce greenhouse gases, which is a gas in the atmosphere that absorbs and emits radiation with thermal infrared range. This process is fundamental of the greenhouse effect. In other words, it is a gas that absorbs and splits out radiation with thermal infrared range, which means it only absorbs over body temperature gases. Back to the point, this is a greenhouse gas because greenhouses contain the stuff that plants need to stay alive indoors. What they do gives them their name. The production of biomass creates more of these gases. And these gases are important because they help sustain life and keep Earth's surface warm. This is another reason why geothermal works. So biomass is a big producer of the stuff is the reason you're in Mrs. Suarez's class right now.
Say done if you're done.
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 Hydropower?
Okay, Stephanie, can I read it?
Why you should choose hydropower is because it has the states that use it the most. I mean the most of all the energy sources that they use have so the states that use it the hydropower the most have one of the lowest energy bills in the country. Why you should also vote for hydropower is because it has no pollution is involved in making its energy source, which is really good. It doesn't affect the environment at all, unlike other energy sources. So if we use this more, the earth would be greener. Every state uses hydropower. Hydropower is a perpetual source of energy that will never run out like fossil fuel. It has a very low operational cost and can create jobs for thousands of U.S. citizens. Hydropower has been used the longest and can be traced back to ancient Greece when farmers used it to grind grains. In 1882, the world's first hydroelectric power plant began operation. Appleton, Wisconsin. Today, only 7% of the U.S. energy comes from hydropower. If more energy consumption came from perpetual sources, then we could stop pollution and for a cleaner tomorrow. Yeah, you should choose hydropower. There are other reasons you should like it. It's a very reliable and stable resource, and it's one of the cheapest energy sources. That's why you should all vote for hydropower. It's obviously the best energy source on the planet.
Done. Great. All right, so you guys get to decide if you'd like to go first or second with your argument.
We'll go second.
Okay. So you guys go first. All right.
Okay. Building large hydroelectric power plants can lead to major environmental damage if not done properly. This is the case with the Chinese Three Gorges Dam and the U.S. Hoover Dam. Large dams can not only disrupt the flow of the natural flow of rivers, but can also cause earthquakes, erosion, landslides, and serious geological damage. Sometimes it can even lead to major flooding, as this was the case with the building of the Three Gorges Dam that displaced around 1.24 million people due to serious flooding. Done.
The only way that it'll cause flooding, earthquakes, and other environmental disasters is if the men and women working hard on that power and the plant mess up. And I don't think they will. And I'm sure that they will not because they are very high trained professionals. So.
Argument?
Okay. Biomass does pollute though. It's it puts out nitrous oxide and methane.
On the other hand, biomass can also cause amnesia, heart disease, lung cancer, and other respiratory alignments, and also premier death.
Yes, we do emit nitrous oxide, but we can actually clean the air by taking the garbage out of it. And I don't believe the lung cancer stuff is true because the gases that we emit only harm the atmosphere, not humans.
Also,
Oh, once you say done, you can't always look at your teammates, please.
I didn't realize you can talk.
Argument?
We said done.
But it's your argument.
high upfront costs, especially when building large hydroelectric power plants. What this means is that developers have to wait at least a few decades before being able to turn their until
The amount of but it's worth the wait. The amount of energy that biomass that the hydropower plant produces is a lot of energy. The energy source is so great, even Washington D.C. uses it. Done.
Nope. It's your argument, guys.
Oh, okay.
there needs to be a large enough area to make biomass.
Done.
Yes, but we can use the stuff we extract for more power, so technically we're paying people to do our work while working at the same time.
Done.
And for the dams, they cost millions of dollars. So how are you going to pay for that? Well, the amount of, like I said before, it'll pay for itself with the energy it costs by creating so much energy. Done.
It's your argument, guys.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
One of the main things that they use to produce biomass is trees. So they have to chop down trees to make biomass.
Yes, while
Oh, say done, Anthony.
Oh, done.
Yes, but while that might be true, we can only use good wood. So if we take bark samples before cutting down the trees, we only cut down a certain amount of trees, then just chopping it down for the stuff we don't need. If we weren't to take the bark samples, we would cut down more, like you said. But we can also use more stuff like garbage, animal waste, and other plants.
Are you done?
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, don't start your next one yet, please. I want to switch cards. Okay, whenever you're ready.
The fish population can be affected in the areas of hydroelectricity power plants. Fish passage is hindered through dams.
Okay, so
Say done.
Yeah, done.
So they have they're putting like little gates in front of the turbines and the generator so that if fish get stuck, they can get back out so it doesn't affect the population. Done.
Tree plantations will never provide the clean water, storm buffers, wildlife habitat, and other ecosystems that natural forests do. And on the other hand, tree loss in itself is already responsible for 20% of the world's total carbon pollution.
Say done if you're done.
Done.
Kids, you got to get better at the done thing, okay? Yes, thank you.
First of all, like I said in the introduction, we are carbon neutral. We do not emit or take away the amount of carbon in the air. And we repeat that last part of it.
Tree loss in itself is already responsible for some of the 20% of the world's total carbon pollution. Oh, then tree plantations will never provide clean water, storm buffers, wildlife habitat, and other ecosystems that natural forests do.
How do you know that? Biomass needs the right wood for the electricity. It needs the right wood to produce the right electricity, so you don't know any of that. What if we are putting clean water in them? Because we need the right bark, why wouldn't we just put that in there?
That's rhetorical, right? They should not answer you, right? Okay. Okay, so that's it for your defense. So now it's your argument. Kiddos, why don't we choose our best two that are left? We'll shorten it a little bit. We'll shorten it a little bit. You're doing very well, but choose your best two. This is a pause. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Judges, normally it goes a little longer than this, but trying to make up a few minutes. So tell me when you both have your two. Okay. All right. So then the timer begins.
No poisonous byproducts are
Your thing, it lowers levels of dissolved oxygen.
Can you be more specific with your thing, Charlotte?
Hydropower lowers levels of dissolved oxygen.
Done?
Done.
Grr.
I have a defense for that.
And you can't think of anything to say? Okay. Then say done.
Okay.
No, it's your argument, boys.
Okay. Shit. Gases are released into the air that contribute to global warming.
Say done.
Done.
Grr.
This was, you actually said this before, you just gave the specific name of the gas. So again, yes, we do release the gases, but we also pick up the garbage at the same time and produce gases that actually help sustain life. So technically we are doing no harm and nothing greater to the atmosphere.
I don't understand.
You're not allowed to speak unless you're addressed. Sadie doesn't have to allow you to talk.
So we release the gases, like you said, but we also release the gases that help protect the atmosphere. So we are doing no harm, but nothing greater to the atmosphere at the same time. Done. And,
Last argument.
okay. Salmon need to have a fish ladder to get to spawning grounds, which, with dams, can cost millions of dollars, plus these extra fish ladders, and over water system, and that costs way more money than besides the dam alone. Done.
As I've said before, twice actually, the amount of energy will make so much money for the government that will be like paying nothing compared to the amount of money that we have to use to pay for the fish that
Nope.
Done.
It's not really what's done in a debate. So I answered for him. He's the only, no, listen. The only time the other team can talk is when they ask to be clarifying something. You're not even supposed to ask a question during it that you want them to answer. That's why I asked if one of yours was rhetorical. Okay, so kiddos, tell me if I did it right. Did both teams have their two last arguments, or you've got your last one? All right, say your last one then, please.
Biomass is very expensive.
You have not said done yet, and that's very frustrating for me. You need to know that. If I was voting right now, I'd be taking a point off.
You know what? I'm actually deciding not to answer that because you have said this in other questions many times before, and we have answered every single time with the right one. But we extracted biomass can be expensive, yes, but we can use the stuff that we take away. Power. Done.
Hallway, finish your 5-minute comment. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, hydropower is perpetual. There's no pollution, and how long it takes to create the power plants to create hydropower, it's worth it to wait because it's cheap and produces a lot of energy. And there's so much that they have to make, like batteries to store all of the energy that it produces. Biomass is not the one you should vote for. You should vote for hydropower.
Done.
Done.
Okay. So we believe that biomass should win this debate because of the several mistakes that hydropower made. The first mistake that they made was we did once not answer a question, but they did. What about dissolved oxygen? This is a severe mistake because they might have a terrible con that they might know about, and if they win this debate thanks to a question they couldn't answer, what would happen to the earth and the air? Hydropower kept asking the same questions over and over. Were they unprepared or just not careful? Another thing, what if their generator breaks? We could be dayless or even monthless without energy. If we could use another dam, the energy won't be as efficient because it wouldn't be as close. Unlike ours, we wouldn't have to make any repairs. Another thing, on their poster, they wrote, and I quote, "We might run out of water thanks to hydropower." If you don't believe me, someone can go check the poster.
Done. Sadie?
Say done. Done.
Okay, hallway. You don't need to bring anything with you, just go out there. Congratulate the people, whether you won or you lost. We can do a little tiny drum roll. So our winner for the second debate in the first round was Biomass. Biomass. Good job, guys. Congratulate each other, please. All right. Our next group is going to be solar versus whoever. Solar versus whoever. Nuclear? All right. The rest of you come back here. Solar versus nuclear, go over there.